Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Now I'm recording this on a Wednesday. This is gonna be my video for weekend, and I just come across a video talking about the downfall of Roy Jones Jr. and brilliant fighter in his prime, yeah, pound for pound. And I'm gonna go through his resume and downfall. So, started his career super welterweight. I'm gonna go weights up in front of me, guys. So, Raymond Murray now. His first title fight was against Bernard Hopkins, and he beat him unanimous decision. And Bernard Hopkins, we all know, turned out to be a brilliant two-way champ. And himself was a pound for pound in the late 90s and for the majority of the 2000s. Savannah himself ranks highly for me now. Back in the day, it's uncommon now, but back in the day, they always used to take fights intermittently, like in the middle of a title fight. So after Bernard Hopkins fight, he fought 3 guys in the middle of that. Now, Tulani Malinga at the time was famous for beating Nigel Benn, but I think beating Nigel Benn was after Roy Jones. Yeah, it was. So Tulani Malinga, even at 35-8 at the time, was good. He was like one of those, like, he had like a UFC style record, although he'd lose plenty. He was always that world contender type, and when he fought Thomas Tate, I haven't really watched that fight, to be honest. And when his next fight, he went up a weight to another pound for pound guy who at the time was 44 now. 2 draws. James Toney. Now, another cracking fighter, And really, that knockdown was controversial, but the way he showboarded and just delivered that left hook, the speed, the timing, and probably it was a debatable knockdown, but it did put him off balance.
Quickness and reflex, Jim. I mean, he makes Tony miss, and he's so quick countering.
Get out the road. Get out.
Showboating by Jones. He tempts fate, I think. Left hook, and down goes Tony.
That knockdown was brilliant, though, wasn't it? And yeah, we can see we done he had fight around Dan Bird and Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz was a bit past it. And I'm sure he was a lightweight. Tony Thornton, when he went up to light heavy. The Brian Brannan knockdown is famous for Roy Jones warning the ref to stop it, and the ref said carry on, so he beat him up.
They're seeing. They were so psyched for the possibility of Brian putting up a big fight against Roy Jones. And their man is just getting hammered in there now. Ron Lipton watching as Roy Jones tattoos Brannan. And then Jones says, look, you want more? Okay.
So after Brian Brannan lost, who at the time was 16-0, but he was unproven, he versed Mike McCallum, went up to light heavyweight for the interim WBC title. Went to decision, and then the next fight was very interesting on the path of Roy Jones Jr., where he got disqualified for hitting him after the knockdown.
No question about it. Griffin is hurt.
Jones looking to finish. Griffin wobbling a little bit. Jones comes in and lands the right hand lead again. And a couple of left hooks. And Griffin's knee goes down. And Jones lands 2 punches after Griffin's knee was on the canvas. And now Griffin slopes forward. And Tony Perez starts the count.
That was a foul. I don't know
He's
if
not
Perez
getting up.
will call it. Question about it.
At the time of Montel Griffin was 26-0. so no slouch. But the second fight, Roy Jones Jr. managed to knock him out in the first round and proves that loss. And that is really you can't hit someone when they're knocked down. But that was really like a BS loss in many people's minds. He was still pretty much undefeated at this time. Although Montel Griffin gave him a few problems in that first fight. If you want to go watch it, go watch it, because at the not at the stoppage, I think Roy Jones was leading, but it was tight. So it was like 6-3, 5-4. What was it, 9th round, wasn't it? So something like that. It was quite close to a stoppage, but he moves on in his career now and he faces Virgil Hill. Now this body shot broke Hill's ribs, and Roy Jones Jr.'s body shots were incredible at this time. So yeah, see body
Not missing him with that right hand. He's whacking him with it. He constantly throws a right hand lead that lands on the left side of Virgil Hill's head, and it's hurting Virgil Hill. No question. Virgil Hill is pumping a jab, but just like Foreman said, he doesn't throw a right hand behind it. So far, it's Jones's power over Hill's jab.
Whoa!
Right to the body, down.
Unheard of. Unheard of.
Only the third time Hill's ever been down. He's holding the kidney area on the right side.
Unheard of.
Fight.
Now at the time, this was a decent win for Roy Jones, as Virgil then went to go on to winning the WBA Cruiserweight title. So it was a big win at the time. Now then the unified the WBC and WBA titles with Lou DeVal, and he did actually get dropped in this fight.
And spent time with McCallum before the fight. Maybe McCallum, one of the great body punchers in the last 25 years in the sport, said to him, Roy, your life would be so much easier if you do what I do.
Just box, fellas. Just box. That's it. Good job.
Good left hand by DeVal. Never before knocked down. Roy Jones cleanly knocked down on a straight left by Lou DeVal.
That's the hardest punch I've ever seen.
Some people were well shocked that he did get knocked down actually, and like Larry Merchant said in that piece, bro, he'd never really been hit clean before, and he hadn't. No, Lou DeVal was a respective puncher. He wasn't a heavy puncher or anything. So to a lot of people this was a shock, but it still didn't take the aura of the Roy Jones had this invincibility about him. So he went on to win by decision, but it was close. It was closer than what most people had been saying. Now the next fight after that was Richard Frazier, straightforward second round KO. Then you had fights like Reggie Johnson, Telesco, Hall, Hardin, and this was when Roy, in my opinion, even previously to the move up to heavyweight, you see he was starting to slow down a little bit, but not too much. That's just my opinion. I think like people had started to work him out a bit more, and there's not much to say about this period of his career up until really John Ruiz. But this period of his career was just defending the undisputed belt, really, against contenders, and sometimes like Richard Frazier, who's 18-3 at the time. Then you had Reggie Johnson, who was a former champion, I believe. Telesco, who was a decent fighter, but he weren't the best. Richard Alwyn, I was impressive. Eric Hardin, Derek Harman, Gonzalez, we dropped a couple of times. Glenn Kelly, Van Nogger was good. And Clinton Woods, we knocked out in the 6th. Now, then he went up to John Ruiz. And this had never been done. Well, I think it had been done once before, but that was back in the early 20th century where it was in the cruiserweight division. Most of the heavyweights weighed about 190, 200 pounds. Unless, cause the average size of a heavyweight back then was 6 foot barely. And they weren't as big as the heavyweights today, was 6'6", 6'7", 250, 260 pounds. Some of them, like Tyson Fury. So it was way easier to do it back then. I believe it was Bob Fitzsimmons who done it. And still, even when Roy Jones went up and done it, he weighed 193. So he did pack on about 20 pounds of muscle. And as you can see, guys, in the Glenn Kelly and Julio Cesar Gonzalez fight, he was weighing 172, 173, so like the heavyweight. I think his natural weight was middleweight, super middle, and I don't think he tried that hard to make light heavy. The only time it was hard for him to make light heavy, I believe, was Tarver 1. Because he had to lose all that weight, but the John Ruiz performance was a brilliant performance. And John Ruiz for WBA champ at the time, he wasn't brilliant. He wasn't the best fighter ever. He'd been knocked out previously with David Tua 20 seconds. And at the time he was 38-4-1, but Roy Jones won on decision by the cards with 10-2, 9-3 and 8-4, 180, 110, 170, 111, 160, 112. So at the time this was quite like the aura of invincibility was still up there, even though I thought he slowed down a little bit. But it was a great fight against John Ruiz.
The right hand right on the button. And Jones hits him with the left hook and ducks the right. There's a solid right cross by Jones. Ruiz. Ooh! He stunned him with that. He stunned him with that.
Ruiz walked into a right hand punch as he hits him with a clean right hand.
Turn into a typical Roy Jones fight, but Ruiz still's got the power. You can't play around with it. Ooh, body shots by Roy Jones.
We've twice seen him knock men out with body shots.
It looks like Jones is starting to fight more like the big man than Ruiz.
Jones busting Ruiz with a left hook. And another right cross. Roy mocking Ruiz in there. Ruiz not pressuring him, not making him fight at a pace that might wear him down. Left hook lands for Jones.
He's trying to be quicker than the faster man. You can't do it.
Straight right hand landed for Jones.
Jack O'Neal, he's around here someplace.
Brilliant fight. He won quite wide on most scorecards. The country on 160 and 112 was a scorecard in our John Ruiz fight. The 117, 111, 118, 110s more 118, 110. Well, when he came back down to light heavyweight to fight Antonio Tarver, who was calling Roy Jones out for years. We had an amateur rivalry, and Tarver turned over pro much later than him. And yeah, pretty much he struggled to get those 20 pounds of muscle off when he fought Tarver, and Tarver had him on the ropes most of the fight, to be fair. And that was a close fight. I mean, for 116, 112 for David Harris, who scored it, I could see that, but I could also see a draw, or I could see a point to Tarver. And people will see, how can you see one person winning and one person have close fights, guys? and swing rounds, you can easily score 1 for 1 and 1 for the other. Or if you're biased, you score most for 1 and most for the other. So yeah, that's how boxing is really. Sometimes the judge can be a touch biased. It's like cash goes like Canelo Alvarez versus Golovkin. Maybe getting more rounds than he should have. That's an example. And then after the Tarver 1 fight, we're going to talk about my opinion now, and we'll move on to the latter part of his career. I believe he didn't have to go down to fight Tarver personally. I think he done everything. He was undisputed champ at light heavy. He practically got every one of the belts, even every one of the belts that didn't matter. Yeah, the IBA, the IBO and WBF titles. And people will be thinking, what the fuck are they? Exactly, but he had 6 titles basically. I think that was all the titles you could have at the time. So after John Ruiz, I honestly, in my opinion, I don't think he had to prove anything. I think it would have been wise to stay away from Tarver. He's not the most awkwardest of southpaws, but he's 6'2", he's got a long reach, so like Roy Jones is maybe 5'10", 5'11". And really, I always thought that Roy Jones was a super middleweight, because even after he struggled to come down from heavyweight in the third half fight, he weighed 173. And he weighed 170 against Trinidad. We'll come on to that later on in the video. I honestly believe he didn't have anything to prove like heavy, and in fact, I thought he could have moved to cruiserweight, even though cruiserweight wasn't the glamour division. There's no big names in it. There's no big money involved in the cruiserweight division. I thought that he could have cracked and then become what would have been 5 division champ and retired. That's what I'm thinking. He could have sailed off to the sunset, but he couldn't give out Mike Tyson right, because let's be honest, Mike Tyson was gone. In my opinion, Mike Tyson didn't want it after the Holyfield fight. He just wanted the money, because he was still... 2003 was late now. This was after the Clifford Etienne fight. And he got beat up by Lennox Lewis in 2002. So, was he a cash cow anymore? Kind of. Was he a name? Yeah, he was still a name. He wasn't ranked really. At the time, he was outside the top 8 of most people's things. But it was still a name, and it probably would have been a huge money fight between a former beast of Mike Tyson, who probably was pound for pound up there on most people's lists. Roy Jones Jr. at this time, he was pound for pound 1, but I think this was a period when Bernard Hopkins started to really shine, and he was pound 1 on most lists. Now, on reflection, the cruiserweight division was actually like I said previously, it didn't have any big names. It wasn't a big division, you know. There weren't many big names. I mean, the WBO champ was Johnny Nelson, but at the time the WBO wasn't recognised as one of the... When was the WBO recognised? I'd like to say around the Bernard Hopkins fight. Around that time, really. I mean, in the 90s, the WBO had all champions, like big champions like Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank Jr. I raised the profile of the WBO, but anyway, it's a different thing. So the IBF champ at the time was Vasily Girov, but But he lost a month later, so at the time it was James Toney. Now he already beat him down to super middleweight for the IBF super middleweight title. The WBA champ was John McCormack, who it wasn't a big name, and the WBC champ was Wayne Braithwaite. None of those guys were big names. The biggest name was probably James Toney out of them, and he already beat them. I think Mormack would have been a winnable fight for Roy Jones. And at this time, guys, the weight limit was 190. I believe it changed 2004, 2005. So he could have picked up a belt and sailed off into the sunset retired, in my opinion. That's my opinion, even though it wasn't financially viable for him, because at this time, Roy Jones was a multi-millionaire. And yeah, he would have got paid $1 million, but the opponent wasn't viable enough for him to get the big purses that he aspired to dream of. Now, going back to light heavy, Tarver was a viable American contender who did offer some money and interest. So that's why he took that fight. It was an all-American unification. And Jones in the first fight got put on the ropes a lot. And that was controversial. People saw enough of a decline in Jones to say the second fight was viable to do. Like I said, I think he could have gone to cruiserweight, but it wasn't financially viable. I would have, because 5-weight champion just does sound cool. That's my opinion. So, the second fight against Tarver, he won the first round comfortably. In my opinion, it was a close first 2 minutes, but the last minute he was just getting his shots off. So in the second round, he came out a bit too aggressive than normal. Like Tarver weren't a pushover like he could have done against his opponents leading up to Ruiz, because none of them were greatest. But he took it too much to Tarver and walked onto the infamous left hand that changed his career.
And seemingly accepting the role of the leader in the counterpuncher's war. And there's a hard left hand by Antonio Tarver. Jones tries to come back with a right to the body and a right upstairs and another right to the middle of the belly.
You know, it's interesting. I'm watching Tarver. He seems to still be giving Roy problems. Roy has not found a way still to get a sustained attack against him.
And down goes Jones on a hard left hand. And that is the most that Roy Jones has ever been hurt. Only Lou DeBell ever knocked him down. Jones may not get up, and he makes it up.
He proceeded to fight Glenn Johnson after this, getting knocked out badly in the 9th. And a year later, he took a year break. He won a fought Antonio Tarver for the third time. Now it was clear as day, that his punch resistance had diminished. Now, there's rumours back in the 90s that Gerald McClellan gave Roy Jones a business in sparring. So, in my opinion, Roy Jones never had the best of chins, but because he never got hit, there was no factor. It reminds me of David Haye in the fact that he relied on his reflexes so much and they diminished towards his mid-30s. And without his reflexes, the only thing he had was hand speed, really. And because he relied on his reflexes so much, couldn't get out the way of punches of his top. Because even though Glenn Johnson had 9 losses, he was the IBF champ at the time. Like, Roy Jones was the challenger. And that was the first time he walked out first to a fight for years and years. Probably the first time in his career, probably. So, his punch resistance had completely diminished. And he just shattered on himself.
7 and 8 combined through a total of 40 punches. This is no way to win a decision.
I think you're going to see Roy at this round. I think panic is setting in. Now you're going to see him do whatever he wants to do or has to do. He's going to start doing it this round right now. I think he really realizes that he's getting in jeopardy of losing the fight. Before he felt it was okay.
Well, he turned it up against
He takes a right hand and a left hand, and he's on the canvas again for the second time in 2 fights. And for the second time in 2 fights, he's not going to get up, and he's been knocked out again.
Will we ever see Roy Jones in the ring?
Roy Jones won the first fight. Right hook. He's badly stunned now. Tarver almost falls over the ropes, trying to knock Jones out after he stunned him big with a right hook. Jones is momentarily stiff-legged. Tarver's got a chance, and he is second knockout of Roy Jones, and he pursues it here in the 11th round.
And Antonio is tired himself.
Jones is not throwing back.
And Antonio should stand back and get one good clean power shot, but he looks like he's about to go down without even being hit himself.
He's tired. But he's ripping Jones with big shots.
So at this stage of his career, it was obvious and evident to see that his punch resistance completely went, and he was a shadow of himself. Came back and he had 3 fights, all on decision. Beat Prince Badiajamu by a very wide decision. I think he dropped him a few times. Anthony Hamshaw. And then in a weird fight, the many of us boxing fans will think, why was it ever made? Felix Trinidad. Felix Trinidad was a career welterweight. So that was a weird fight. That was made at cash rate of 170. Like I said earlier on, Roy Jones could easily made super middle, but at the time, it wouldn't have made sense for him to come down from super middle from heavyweight, you know. He struggled to make light heavy, for God's sake, but when he can make super middleweight, I think I'll push. Even though the cruiserweight idea of mine maybe seemed a bit far-fetched, he did have a hand speed, you know. All he had to do was not get hit. And he didn't get hit against John Reese. He was still right, and the weight loss was one of the major downfalls. So I think if he went to cruiser, I think he would have been 5 division champion. He would have retired. Now, Felix Trinidad, he won pretty wide. I think he dropped him once or twice. I want to say twice. Looking at his scorecard spear. Yeah, and then he fought Joel Kazaki's last fight. He literally won every round bar in the first, which was a BS knockdown. Now, even if he retired at the Joe Calzaghe point, people would have still remembered him for his greatness, and he did show glimpses of it. He beat Jeff Lacey, although Jeff Lacey was a super middleweight. He came up without Roy Jones, and Roy Jones beat him. No, Jeff Lacey was hyped up, and you could probably say he was never the same fighter after losing to Joe Calzaghe back in 2006, I want to say. I was in the Millennium when they were Cardiff Arms or something. But yeah, if he retired at Joe Calzaghe point, I think people would still vividly remember him. But he went on after this, and I don't know why, because the Omar Shaker fight, he was ranked quite highly in the WBO at this point. He went up to cruiserweight to fight Danny Green and cash rate of 180, I believe. That makes no sense. Danny Green's a big puncher. And on this time cruiserweight was 200 pounds, even though at 180 they made it for a WBO title. It makes no sense. And usually has another couple of losses in a row. He he then fights Bernard Hopkins, and at this time Bernard Hopkins was sort of having like a renaissance in his career. He was coming back. He had the loss against Joe Calzaghe. Previously, beat Kelly Pavlik, but he was coming back. He was like, after those couple of losses to Jermaine Taylor, he was having this period was a renaissance, so we saw him go to beat John Pascal. So that second fight had no sense. Most of these fights in the later part of his career made no sense, by the way. When you went versus Dennis Lebedev, who was a puncher at cruiser, and he weighed in at 198 actually first. Both scorecards baffling me. I don't see how somebody can have 90-81 up and somebody have the other guy 86-85, so apparently Roy Jones was winning that fight. What scorecards say he wasn't, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I've never watched it, but I heard someone say, well, it was a close fight. Contrary to scorecards, then these last couple of fights were pretty pointless. He had a bunch of wins later on in his career, but he versed a lot of club fighters and journeymen. He did verse Enzo Macquinelli in Macquinelli's late stage of his career, and Macquinelli knocked him out. But there we go, is the end of him. He versed Bobby Guns. These are all club fighters and journeymen. Now, I don't know Roy Jones personally, but did he need to, if you can comment, did he need to fight for money? Did he lose money or something? Comment, please, because I don't know his story personally. I'm just covering his boxing journey, but yeah, after the Tarver 2 fight and the weight loss, was his career gone. I would like to say thanks for watching this. I'd say this is one of my better videos out there I've made. Made this on the Wednesday/Thursday. This will probably be premiering Friday. But like I say, thanks you guys. Thanks for support. Thanks for watching. And yeah, take care.